Have you ever wondered if the simple nuts sitting in your kitchen cabinet could be either protecting your vision or slowly harming it without you realizing? Imagine this. Something as tiny as a single handful of the right nuts each day can support sharper eyesight, reduce dryness, and even lower your risk of serious age-related eye problems like macular degeneration and cataracts. On the other hand, the wrong kinds of nuts, often the ones many seniors snack on daily, may quietly contribute to inflammation, poor circulation, and damage to delicate eye tissues over time. This isn't a dramatic claim. It's what eye health experts and nutrition researchers have been pointing out for years. And in today's video, we're diving deep into the 4 best nuts that can truly support your vision after 60, and 4 you should think twice about touching. By the end, you'll know exactly which nuts to keep in your pantry and which ones to leave off your shopping list to keep your eyesight strong and clear as you age. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a quick comment below. Your support helps more older adults discover practical, natural ways to protect their vision every week. Now, let's jump right into it. The first nut on our list might surprise you because it's not usually thought of as a superfood, but when it comes to eye health, it quietly works wonders. Brazil nuts. These smooth, rich nuts are best known for their sky-high selenium content. Selenium is a trace mineral that works like a microscopic shield inside your cells, defending them against oxidative stress. For the eyes, oxidative stress is one of the biggest drivers behind macular degeneration and cataract formation. 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day can provide more than 100% of your daily selenium needs. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted selenium's role in reducing inflammation markers in older adults, which is important because chronic low-grade inflammation affects the retina's ability to repair itself. Beyond that, Brazil nuts are a good source of vitamin E and healthy fats, both of which keep the tear film stable and support the fine capillaries that nourish your retina. From a practical standpoint, it's easy to incorporate them. Enjoy 1 or 2 as a mid-morning snack, crush them over oatmeal, or mix them into a homemade trail mix with unsweetened dried fruit. Just remember, because of their potency, moderation is key. Too many can give you excess selenium. Think of them like a natural supplement in nut form, not a handful to eat mindlessly in front of the TV. Next, let's talk about a nut that often gets overlooked but has quietly been praised in clinical nutrition circles for its remarkable omega-3 profile and gentle impact on blood sugar: macadamia nuts. These creamy, buttery nuts are native to Australia and are rich in monounsaturated fats, similar to those found in extra virgin olive oil, which help support healthy blood flow to the eyes. Unlike many common snacks, macadamias have a naturally low carbohydrate content and a very low glycemic index, meaning they won't trigger the blood sugar spikes that can damage the tiny blood vessels in the retina over time. In older adults, maintaining stable blood sugar is crucial for eye protection because high glucose levels accelerate oxidative damage and compromise circulation. Macadamia nuts also contain small but significant amounts of phytosterols and flavonoids, plant compounds that act like gentle antioxidants in the eye tissues. There's growing evidence that diets rich in monounsaturated fats are linked to a lower risk of developing age-related macular degeneration, and macadamias fit perfectly into that pattern. In real life, they're incredibly easy to add to a senior-friendly diet. A small handful, about 5 to 8 nuts, makes for a satisfying, eye-healthy snack that doesn't overload your system. You can also lightly crush them and sprinkle over steamed vegetables, or use macadamia nut butter on whole-grain toast as a luxurious alternative to sugary spreads. As you can see, these nuts aren't trendy health fads, they're simple, time-tested foods that deliver targeted nutrients to support aging eyes. And we're only halfway through the best nuts list. In the next part, we'll look at 2 more powerful nuts that many people overlook, including one that has been shown in population studies to lower the risk of common vision problems after 60. Stick around, because understanding these simple choices can make a noticeable difference in how your eyes feel and function every day. Thank you for watching this video so far. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a like. It really helps us reach more people who want to keep their vision strong naturally. Moving on to our third powerhouse nut, we have pistachios, a vibrant green nut that's far more than just a tasty snack. Pistachios are a standout for eye health because they're one of the few nuts rich in two crucial antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin, which are actually concentrated in the macula, the part of your retina responsible for central vision and fine detail. These compounds act like internal sunglasses, filtering out harmful blue light and helping protect the retina from oxidative damage. Studies from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging have consistently shown that higher dietary intakes of lutein and zeaxanthin are associated with a lower risk of both cataracts and age-related macular degeneration, two of the most common causes of vision loss after 60. What makes pistachios particularly senior-friendly is their balance of nutrients. They contain healthy fats, plant-based protein, and a variety of vitamins and minerals like copper and manganese, which assist in the enzymatic processes that keep eye tissues strong and elastic. Unlike heavily salted snack mixes, unsalted or lightly roasted pistachios can be enjoyed in moderate portions, about a small handful a day, to deliver real benefits. A great practical tip for older adults is to buy pistachios in the shell. This slows down your eating pace, helps with portion control, and turns snacking into a mindful activity rather than a rushed habit in front of the TV. The fourth nut on our list might not be as common in American kitchens, but it deserves a place in every senior's diet because of its unique nutrient profile: pine nuts. These delicate, buttery seeds, technically from pine cones but commonly categorized with nuts, are rich in vitamin K, zinc, and pinolenic acid, a rare fatty acid shown to support vascular health. Healthy circulation is fundamental for the eyes, because the retina relies on a steady flow of oxygen and nutrients through tiny, fragile capillaries. Pine nuts also contain magnesium, which plays a role in regulating intraocular pressure. For seniors concerned about conditions like glaucoma or ocular hypertension, magnesium intake from whole foods can be one part of a supportive lifestyle. In fact, some clinical observations have linked adequate magnesium levels to healthier optic nerve function and more stable eye pressure over time. Pine nuts also deliver small amounts of vitamin E and lutein, adding another layer of antioxidant protection. They're especially versatile in the kitchen. Lightly toasting them brings out their flavor beautifully, and they can be sprinkled over salads, mixed into yogurt, or blended into homemade pesto. For older adults who struggle with chewing harder nuts like almonds, pine nuts offer a softer, easier-to-eat option without sacrificing nutrients. At this point, you've met the four nuts that eye health professionals often recommend incorporating regularly into a senior-friendly diet. Brazil nuts for selenium-powered antioxidant defense, macadamia nuts for healthy fats and stable blood sugar, pistachios for their lutein and zeaxanthin shield, and pine nuts for vascular and magnesium support. These aren't exotic superfoods you need to hunt down at specialty stores. They're accessible, natural foods that can be added to your daily meals in simple, enjoyable ways. The key is consistency. Eating a small, balanced portion regularly is far more effective than overdoing it occasionally. Think of these nuts as part of your eye health toolkit, alongside regular checkups, wearing proper UV protective sunglasses, and maintaining good hydration. But as with any powerful tool, there's a flip side. Just as some nuts can nourish and protect your eyes, others may quietly work against you, especially as your metabolism, circulation, and nutrient needs change with age. Many seniors unknowingly reach for these less-than-ideal nuts every day, often thinking they're making a healthy choice when in reality, they could be feeding inflammation, spiking blood sugar, or adding unnecessary strain on the eye's delicate tissues. And this is where making smart distinctions really matters. Knowing which nuts to avoid can help prevent you from undoing the good work of the healthy choices you're making. In the next part, we'll uncover the four nuts you should think twice about after 60, the ones that may seem harmless but can negatively impact circulation, inflammation levels, or eye tissue resilience over time. Some of these might surprise you because they're often marketed as heart-healthy or energy-boosting. Yet for aging eyes, they're not always the best companions. By understanding both sides, the best and the worst, you can make confident, informed decisions every time you shop or snack. Thank you for staying with me so far. If you're finding this information valuable, take a quick moment to hit the like button and subscribe. It really supports the channel and helps more older adults learn how to keep their vision sharp naturally. Now that we've explored the best nuts to support your eyesight, it's just as important to talk about the other side of the story. The nuts that older adults should be cautious with, or even avoid altogether. Some of these are popular, easily available, and even marketed as healthy. But when it comes to protecting aging eyes, circulation, and overall inflammation levels, they can quietly work against you if eaten regularly or in excess. The goal here isn't to scare you, but to give you clear, trustworthy guidance so you can make smarter choices without confusion. Let's begin with a nut that's often found in flavored snack packs and sugary trail mixes, candied or honey-roasted nuts. Technically, these can be made from almost any nut, but the problem isn't the nut itself, it's the coating. When nuts are covered in sugar, honey, or syrup and then roasted, they create a sticky, caramelized layer that raises their glycemic index dramatically. For older adults, spikes in blood sugar are a major concern for eye health because they damage the retina's delicate blood vessels and accelerate oxidative stress. Elevated glucose can also lead to glycation, a process that stiffens tissues and can contribute to cataract formation over time. Even small daily servings of sweetened nuts can push blood sugar levels higher than you might expect, especially if they're eaten as a snack between meals. Many seniors mistakenly think a small bag of honey-roasted nuts is a healthy treat, but from an eye health perspective, it's far better to stick to raw or dry-roasted nuts without any added sugars. The second nut to watch out for is highly salted or flavored peanuts, especially those from commercial brands that use preservatives and artificial seasonings. While peanuts themselves are technically legumes, they're often eaten like nuts and are one of the most common snack choices among older adults. The issue lies in the sodium content and additives. Excessive sodium intake contributes to high blood pressure, which affects the tiny vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to the retina and optic nerve. Over time, consistently elevated blood pressure can reduce the resilience of these vessels, making them more prone to damage. Additionally, many flavored peanuts are coated in artificial colorings and MSG, which can trigger inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals. While a small amount of plain, unsalted peanuts occasionally is not usually harmful, making heavily salted or seasoned peanuts a daily habit can place unnecessary strain on your circulatory system and, by extension, your eyes. Next, let's talk about cashews, which often surprise people when they make the limit list. Cashews are creamy and delicious, but they're also naturally higher in oxalates compared to many other nuts. Oxalates are compounds that can contribute to calcium oxalate deposits, and in some individuals, particularly older adults with reduced kidney function, high oxalate intake can interfere with the body's mineral balance. For eye health, excessive oxalates may indirectly affect the clarity of the lens and the overall fluid balance in the eye. Cashews are also slightly higher in carbohydrates than most nuts, which can raise blood sugar if eaten in large portions. Another factor to consider is that cashews are often sold roasted with added oils, which may be of lower quality and contribute to inflammation when consumed regularly. Enjoying a few raw cashews occasionally is not usually problematic, but large handfuls every day, especially flavored or oil-roasted varieties, are not ideal for supporting aging eyes. The fourth nut to be cautious with is pecans, particularly the sweetened or butter-roasted types commonly used in desserts and snack mixes. While pecans do contain some healthy fats and antioxidants, they are also very calorie-dense and often paired with sugary coatings or glazes. For seniors watching their weight, blood sugar, or cholesterol, frequent consumption of glazed pecans can lead to spikes in triglycerides and insulin, both of which have downstream effects on vascular health. Poor vascular health directly impacts the retina, which depends on a healthy network of blood vessels. Another concern with pecans is rancidity. They have a relatively high oil content, which means they can spoil quickly if not stored properly. Rancid nuts contain oxidized fats that increase oxidative stress in the body, including in the eyes. Many people unknowingly snack on slightly stale pecans without realizing the oxidative burden they're adding. Together, These four categories, candied or honey-roasted nuts, heavily salted or flavored peanuts, high oxalate cashews, and sweetened or rancid pecans, represent common pitfalls for older adults who are trying to eat healthier but may not be aware of the hidden impacts on their vision. Avoiding or limiting these doesn't mean you have to give up nuts entirely. It just means being a little more selective. Replacing these less supportive options with the four vision-friendly nuts we discussed earlier can create a meaningful difference in how your eyes age and function over time. In the next part, we'll bring everything together with a simple, practical daily routine you can follow to include the right nuts for maximum eye health benefits, along with a quick recap and some final tips that will help keep your vision sharp for years to come. Now that you know exactly which nuts can support your eyesight and which ones might quietly work against you, let's put this knowledge into a simple, practical daily routine that fits naturally into your lifestyle. Protecting your vision after 60 doesn't have to mean complicated diets or expensive supplements. Sometimes it's about small, consistent habits, like choosing the right handful of nuts at the right time of day. Start your morning by picking one of the four eye-healthy nuts we discussed earlier. For example, you might enjoy one or two Brazil nuts with a cup of herbal tea or water before breakfast. This gives your body a natural boost of selenium and antioxidants early in the day, setting the tone for good circulation and reduced oxidative stress. If you prefer something more filling, try lightly crushing macadamia nuts over warm oatmeal or blending a few into a smoothie with spinach and berries. The combination of healthy fats and antioxidants gives your eyes the building blocks they need to handle daily strain from light exposure and aging. Around midday, when many people feel like reaching for a sugary snack or flavored peanuts, this is the perfect time to swap in a small handful of pistachios. Choosing unsalted in-shell pistachios encourages slower, more mindful snacking. This habit helps control portion sizes while delivering lutein and zeaxanthin, nutrients your macula depends on for protection against harmful blue light. If you spend time reading, watching television, or using digital devices, these antioxidants are especially valuable for maintaining clear central vision and reducing eye fatigue. In the evening, if you're making a salad, sautéed vegetables, or a light dinner, sprinkle some pine nuts on top. Their subtle flavor pairs beautifully with leafy greens and cooked vegetables, and they supply magnesium and pinolenic acid to support healthy blood flow to the retina. For seniors concerned about chewing harder foods, pine nuts offer a soft, pleasant texture that's easy on the teeth and gums while still nourishing the eyes. This rotation, Brazil nuts in the morning, pistachios midday, and pine nuts at dinner creates a balanced, varied intake of nutrients without requiring large quantities of any single nut. Equally important is what to limit or avoid. If you have a habit of buying candied or honey-roasted nuts, consider replacing them with plain roasted or raw versions and seasoning them yourself with a pinch of cinnamon or a sprinkle of turmeric for added anti-inflammatory benefits. If you love peanuts, choose unsalted and plain varieties, and treat them as an occasional addition rather than a daily staple. For cashews, keep servings modest and opt for raw instead of flavored or oil-roasted. And with pecans, make sure they're fresh, plain, and stored properly, preferably in the refrigerator or freezer, to avoid rancidity. Consistency is what truly matters. Eating a large amount of healthy nuts once in a while won't give you the same benefits as enjoying small, thoughtful portions regularly. Think of it as nourishing your eyes day by day, just like watering a plant. Over weeks and months, these small steps can support healthier blood vessels, steadier eye pressure, and a stronger defense against age-related degeneration. Many seniors report feeling less eye dryness and fatigue simply by improving their daily nutrition, and nuts are one of the easiest changes to make. Of course, nutrition is just one piece of the puzzle. Regular eye checkups, wearing proper sunglasses outdoors, staying hydrated, managing blood sugar, and protecting your sleep quality all work together with your diet to maintain clear vision as you age. But by focusing on the specific nuts that deliver key antioxidants, healthy fats, and vascular support, you're giving your eyes a real advantage for the years ahead. So, let's recap quickly. The four best nuts for seniors' eye health are Brazil nuts for selenium, macadamia nuts for stable blood sugar and healthy fats, pistachios for lutein and zeaxanthin, and pine nuts for circulation and magnesium support. On the other hand, avoid or limit candied or honey-roasted nuts, heavily salted or flavored peanuts, high oxalate cashews in large amounts, and sweetened or rancid pecans. By making these swaps part of your daily routine, you can support your eyesight naturally, without complicated supplements or drastic changes. Thank you so much for watching this video and spending this time investing in your eye health. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who could benefit. Your support helps more older adults discover practical ways to keep their vision strong naturally. Here's to clearer vision, one smart snack at a time.